It's probably happened to you at least once. You're going through your pantry or your freezer and you come across something that's expired or even worse, possibly unsafe. Just today, more than 5,000 pounds of cheese sold in Ohio was recalled due to possible listeria. And the FDA issued an advisory over frozen raw shrimp that might be radioactive. So how does this even happen? Joining us to talk about these types of cases and why you may notice more recalls than before is Haley Shoemaker, the OSU Extension Ag and Natural Resources educator. Haley, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So what sort of protocols or procedures are in place in food manufacturing to keep what we eat as fresh and safe as possible?
So some of the key players that are involved in food safety are the Ohio Department of Health, if we're looking at the state level. We also talk to our sister agencies at the Ohio Department of Agriculture. You're also going to hear federal agencies like the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, as well as the USDA's FSIS, or Food Safety and Inspection Service. Each of these agencies has their own role to play in public safety and food safety, and maintaining that food source from the processor and manufacturer to the consumer.
Listeria is a pretty common reason we see attached to recalls. What's the cause behind that?
So listeria is actually a bacteria, and this is something that is routinely part of those food safety checks. So if a manufacturer, distributor notices the presence of listeria or suspected presence, that's when they sort of enact that food safety protocol where they're talking with those players that we mentioned to make sure that that does not end up in the food chain or in commerce, or if it is, it's recalled, like we're seeing now, to make sure it is not consumed if it's already purchased or it's pulled from those store shelves.
Yeah, can you talk about sort of the safety nets in place to make sure contaminated products don't reach those store shelves or are removed from them as quickly as possible?
So in the food processing realm, and this goes for, we mentioned dairy products, there's fruit and vegetable, meat products, all of those food products are tested in some cases before they reach the consumer, before they reach that distribution level. So if we're looking at dairy or meat products, those are tested very heavily all throughout the food chain to make sure that there is minimal risk of contaminants moving on to the consumer. They're also ensuring a quality product so that you're really getting more bang for your buck when you're going to the store and paying for a high quality product that you expect.
So when it comes to expired food and the dates on food products, some people throw out food the instant it hits the use by or the best by date. But others, they insist that depending on what the food is, it's good maybe some days or even weeks after the dates. What's true, or does it depend on the food?
Sometimes it depends on the food product. It also depends on the actual wording. So a lot of times we'll get some confusion on, it says expires by or use by or sell by or best by. It really, there's a lot to throw at the consumer. So when it says it expires by, it expires by that date. If it's a sell by date, then that's more of a, hey, this probably should be off the shelves by this date. So yeah, there's a lot of confusing labels to wade through as a consumer.
Right, absolutely. I know it can be confusing. I don't know. I always err on the side of caution and maybe just throw it out, go get something new and fresh, and that way you're always safe. So Haley Shoemaker.
I think my great-grandmother always went by the sniff test.
The sniff,
but I don't
yes.
That is
I've heard that. How does it smell? Haley Shoemaker, we appreciate it as always. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having us.